So, coming back to our conversation about unsolicited acquisition offers that business owners may receive, when we talk about the difference between an offer and the right deal, why is the highest offer not always the best deal?
It's a good question, Sergio, and we have this discussion with our clients quite frequently. The best deal is not always the highest price deal. It's one that really balances price or valuation with structure, certainty, risk, and organizational impact, as well as making sure that the things that the deal might bring to the table are meeting your personal objectives, really to kind of bring in a holistic picture that really makes that deal the right deal for you. So really, at the end of the day, there might be multiple buyers offering a similar valuation, but they could be dramatically different in their quality. And that really comes down to the structure and how that proceeds or the value gets materialized or conveyed to that seller. And what I mean by that is there could be competing offers at the same valuation, but there could be different cash at closing. So that cash in your pocket and that certainty is different. There could be earnouts that are ways to bridge valuation gaps that may be represented in the top line, but ultimately are contingent. There's rolled equity. So they may not want to buy out 100% of your business. They might have you stick around for a couple of years and retain some of that equity. There's also escrows and holdbacks. There's tax considerations based on how they want to structure and purchase your business. And also there's another thing that's a little bit in the hidden aspect in the weeds is what are the post-closing obligations of the seller and the owner? Are they going to have to stick around in the business for a period of years? This is often a big issue that really matters a lot to sellers because they're wanting to transition to their next chapter. And if they can't do that right away, they should have their eyes open to that. So really, at the end of the day, you want to consider the broader impacts of, is it not just price, but what are the impacts to my organization? What's the impacts to my legacy? And really, how is my future involvement going to be tied in or weaved into this process?
So many things to consider.
Absolutely. It's really a 360 review of everything that is being brought to the table, not just the dollars and cents.
Okay. So in continuing in this topic of the difference between an offer and the right deal, why does the type of buyer matter so much?
For a number of reasons. The type of buyer matters because different buyers bring different value propositions, expectations, and kind of post-closing operational habits. Strategic buyers, they're your competitors, they're your industry players, and private equity firms all have different profiles, backgrounds, and natures of how they want to complete a transaction. They also move at different speeds, which is an important component to think about when you're entertaining or evaluating your buyer universe or who's on the other end of the phone. So when you are sitting in that seat and you've gotten an unsolicited call, you want to really understand the buyer fit. And to do that, you need to understand who might be calling and the differences between those two buyers. Is that party on the other end of the line bringing committed capital, or do they have a financing contingency? Because it's not just executing one deal, it might be executing two deals. One to buy your business, one to get the capital to acquire it. Are they bringing value-added capabilities? What are their prerogatives for control and reporting post-close? All those things come into play. I think just as critical as cultural and operational alignment. How impactful or disruptive is this new owner going to assimilate into your operation? And I think that's important to have your eyes open to those issues. You always want to make sure that you think about your employees, the people that have helped build your business, and how they get treated and cared for post-close. And without a broader market context of who the buyers are, you're really negotiating in the dark in terms of the implications to your organization. So taking some time early to understand the nature of who the buyer is and getting comfortable with that is really important as a component to the evaluation of this process.